It's 2021 and I just got into 8th grade. Around the time I also got into anime and manga because a friend recommended it to me. The first week of school went well. I was socializing, talking with people and just having a great time in general. However, soon it all went crumbling down. I really got into manga and anime. It got to the point where instead of talking and socializing to people, I was just sitting at my desk all day long and reading manga. I remember one time a girl came up to me and said like, "Hey, what are you doing? I haven't seen you in a long time, you haven't talked, like what's up?" And I remember just staring her dead in the eye and saying to her, "Can you please just leave? I want to watch anime." And she just left. That's fucking mind-blowing. I was a stupid fuck. I started joining anime groups on Discord, and because of those groups I also got into gaming, and it got even worse. When I came from school, I quickly did my homework and just started playing on my PC all day long, and I did that every single day. However, it doesn't stop here. It got even worse. I got addicted to porn, and I was literally watching porn while playing video games. My dopamine receptors were fucked. This went on for a whole year, and in that year I lost all my connections I had with my friends, my ability to socialize, my confidence, I got social anxiety, life just got way worse than it was before. However, the worst out of all of this is that I lost my self-esteem and trust in my own word. And it took me one whole year to get it back. One whole year of falling and getting back up again and falling again. One whole year of doing things and learning on my own. However, luckily for you, you won't have to go through it because I'm gonna share exactly what I did in order to get my self-esteem back. Without all the solo learning, it takes ages to do, you lucky bastard. But first, who the fuck am I? Well, hi, I'm Christian, I'm 17, and at the age of 15 I managed to completely change my life around. I went from being a loser with no confidence, social anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts, and no meaning to life in general, to being more confident than ever, happy, having a meaningful life, having a business, an online business, a personal brand, and much more, and I did it all on my own. With this being said, let's get started. First of all, what does it actually mean to lose self-esteem? Well, in simpler terms, it means to lose respect for your own self, basically to think that you're just a piece of shit. But how does this actually happen? Well, put it this way. Let's say that you meet a guy that simply looks miserable with dark circles around his eyes, pimples, when all he does is watches porn while playing video games and doing nothing with his life. You would not respect that guy, right? You might even feel sorry for him. Now, imagine that you are that guy. How the fuck are you supposed to have respect for your own self when you know that you have been indulging in these disgusting and destructive activities for so long? When you know the only good thing that you do is to stay in your little corner to not creep others out? When you know that you have been saying to yourself for so many times that you will fucking change, but you still don't do a thing to change and you remain the same? You lose trust, respect in your own self, and your self-image will be fucked. You keep saying to yourself, he got lucky, he has good genetics, or why am I this way, or I'm just a piece of shit compared to them. But luckily, this can change. So how do we actually change that? How do we get your self-esteem back? First, you gotta understand that it's not gonna be a one-night change. You're not in a fucking movie. It took me one whole year to change. And at first, you might not even see any results, but that's okay. You just have to put your head down and keep going, because the only thing that separates you from being a loser is whether you keep going or not when you're in your darkest periods, when nothing seems to work out and you're just lost. You simply have to keep going. Okay, now enough yapping, let's get to the real stuff. How do you actually get your self-esteem back? Well, it's simple. Well, you don't have any self-esteem because you have been indulging in these activities that make you feel like a piece of shit for so long, right? Well, it might sound obvious, but many people don't realize this. Just stop doing those activities. Stop gaming, stop watching anime, stop watching porn, stop wasting your time and just do something meaningful with your life. Because just stopping will instantly give you that confidence and that little bit of self-esteem back, because you know that you had the courage and the power to actually stop doing those activities. But how do we actually stop doing those actions? It might sound easy, but it's not easy, and I get you, I've been through this. The first thing you can do is to remove any things that might make you want to do that action that's not good for you. Let's say that, for example, you want to stop gaming. Well, completely delete all of your games from your desktop, because this way you won't see them and you're less likely to actually want to play them. They are called triggers. Put it this way, when a smoker feels the smell of a cigar, of course he wants to take a cigar, right? Because it reminds him of the habit and it gives him the desire to actually do that next step. By removing those games from your computer, you're actually increasing the friction that you have to go through in order to play them again, because you have to look for them, reinstall them, and so on, and it's simply a pain in the ass, therefore reducing the probability of you actually playing them. The third thing that you can do is to simply have someone that can keep you accountable. For me, this really helps with porn. Just find a friend that's gonna agree to make a deal with you to stop fapping and looking at that shit. And whenever you are about to do it, just talk to them about it. It's gonna help you. Now, you're not doing the bad habits anymore, which is good, it's awesome. However, you now have a lot of free time, and we have to fill all of that free time out, because if you don't, then all of those bad habits are simply gonna come back. Now, what do we actually fill up this time with? Well, just find something simple that's easy to do and that's healthy for you. Like, don't get straight into starting a business because you're just starting out and you don't have the necessary discipline to actually do that. Find something that you really enjoy doing and at the same time that's good for you. Like in my case, it was art, and it made me completely forget about anime and porn and games and stuff like this, because the whole day I was just sitting at my desk and drawing. Now, don't just do that new thing to simply pass time, because you have to build up your discipline so that later on you'll be able to do more difficult things like starting a business. So for me, in my case with art, the thing that would build my discipline was to post on Instagram, because like that I would have to keep up with the posting schedule and post art on time, thus building the discipline. For you, it might be, I don't know, writing every day if you want to be a writer, or going to some canto lessons if you want to be a singer. You get the point. Okay, now that we've done all of those things, you're in a much better place. However, we're still not done yet. Now what you're gonna do is to use all of those things that you've done and accomplished as proof for your stupid little brain to show you that you're not actually a piece of shit. So at the end of the day, sit your ass down and write positive affirmations, but not just any positive affirmations like I'm good, I'm the best, or shit like this. Those are useless. What you're gonna write are positive affirmations backed up by proof. You wanna be rich? Well, instead of writing down I'll be rich and that's it, write down I'll be rich because I had the courage and the discipline necessary to actually change and do the small but essential stuff that will get me closer to that goal. You see the difference? This way you're showing your brain all the good stuff that you do, increasing your self-esteem, and at the same time you're showing it that you can actually achieve it, getting rid of limiting beliefs. Now, one last thing, ever wonder why those guys that compete and take first places and win fights and stuff like this are so confident? Well, because they win, and simply by winning they get more confident, which makes it easier to win, and then they get even more confident, creating this endless beneficial cycle. This is called the winner effect, and it can boost your self-esteem and self-image to the fucking roof. So that's what you gotta do. But how if you're a fucking loser and don't have any wins? Well, the good news is that even the smallest wins count, but we simply ignore them most of the time, and that's why it seems like they don't have any effect, but they still count. It doesn't matter how small they are, a win is a win. So once again, sit your ass down at the table at the end of the day and write down 3 wins that you had that day. And once again, it doesn't matter how small they are, because a win is a win. Even if your win is drinking that cup of water, it still is a win, and write it down. And then simply celebrate them, be happy for them. Like this, you're gonna show your brain again that you're not a piece of shit and that you're better than that, increasing your self-esteem. But yeah, I hope this helped. If you enjoyed the video and found it valuable, then drop me a like, a comment, and hit that subscribe button. It's gonna help me out a lot. But anyways, get back to work. Ciao.